Good morning, friends. I believe this should be starting on this Friday, so it would be November 13th. Yesterday, if all went well, we talked about the land bridge theory and explained how people long ago, the first Native Americans, so the first Americans, traveled across from Asia, working their way down to North America and down where in the United States, basically where we're at now, using a land bridge called Beringia, I believe, that isn't there anymore. So that was just a theory. It's not 100% proven, but it's a way that we would try to explain how these people came to be here in North America. Speaking of those people, we're going to spend the next couple of weeks learning more about the Native American tribes. They do still exist today, just like you and me. But we're going to learn how their lives were like long ago. As they live now, their lives are very similar to ours. They do have some really cool traditions and things that we're going to learn more about, but we're going to talk about basically long ago and working our way forward. So as we do this, I want to explain to you some stories that the long ago Native Americans came up with. And what they did was try to explain how things came to be because they were new to the area. They didn't have history books like we do or science books or theories that help them to understand and know how things were. A lot of times they would come up with these stories to try to explain how something came to be the way it is. So the next few days, I plan to share a few of those stories with you. There is a man, Roger Fernandez, who went around the Washington state tribes and he asked them a few stories. So we have 4 different ones over the next 4 days we're going to work on and try to learn a little bit more about and try to understand a little more of their culture. So this first one today is going to be explaining, well, it's called Bear and Blue Jay. So let me see if I can bring that one up. And let me show you what it's going to look like first. So from this current slide, it is a Native American story called Blue Jay and Bear, or Bear and Blue Jay. Really quick explanation. This is a blue jay, this blue bird, and it has these black, skinny little feet. And then here's Bear. Later on, it talks about the pads of his paws. See how they're kind of chubby? They're really looking fluffy and soft. That's the pad or the paw of the bear. At one point, they explained fishing duck, and I looked it up, and it is just a regular duck, but you know how they dive down to grab the fish? That's what they're referring to. And then the tribe location was in Chehalis, Washington. So you know how Washington has that little hook, and then it comes up over here and around? It is this little area right here. So that was the tribe location. So the questions I'll be asking afterwards are tribe location, tribe name, who are the characters in the story, what is the setting of the story, so where did it take place, and if it doesn't say exactly, think of like how they described it. And then what does this story explain? So remember we talked about there's how things came to be stories. This is one of them. So it's explaining something, so we'll want to record that afterwards. And I have this part, if you want to draw a picture, I know it's a little harder to do online, you're welcome to sketch one as we're thinking, or if you want to insert a picture, if you are just online and you don't have paper, no problem. So I just wanted to show you this is what it looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit play on our story, and I'm going to see if I can make this nice and big for you. I'm going to close that out and hide this. Okay, so Bear and Blue Jay, or Blue Jay and Bear. Hopefully it's still showing you the right thing. There's a lot of steps to this. It works out really well in the classroom, but you know, with technology having so many steps, it might give me a little bit of a hassle. We will just try our best.
Western Washington, down near Longview. It goes.
All right. So I do realize as it was showing you guys what it was saying. It didn't translate exactly perfect, but that is totally fine. I just wanted to use that to show you a little bit of what he's saying, because sometimes when you see the words, it's a little helpful. I don't know about you, but I'm that way. So again, this was yesterday's land bridge theory that we talked about, and then today's work was the Native American story Blue Jay and Bear. So after having listened to the story, hopefully you guys are able to, well, it would look something like this. You would be able to click right here and click the name of the tribe and the location, which we talked about a little bit, who list here characters in the story. In this story, I think there was only 3. Then you would write the setting of the story. So if it doesn't say exactly where, I think that we heard inside some houses. We heard, I believe, near the water. So you want to make sure to list the settings or the places the story took place. And then at the very end of the story, it said, what does the story explain? And it might not seem like a huge deal because it was something so small that he was talking about or explaining. That's okay. A lot of the stories didn't explain something huge. So what was the purpose or the reason that they had the story? What does it explain? And then here, if you wanted to insert a picture, you can search pictures, online pictures, and then you can say, if you were looking for some kind of bear, if you were looking for a bird, whatever image you want to add to help explain a little more of the story, you can. If not, that is totally fine. Just add some little notes, make it your own. And then after you're done, you're just going to close out of this. You don't need to save anything. I just want you to hold on to it, and we have 2 more days. We're going to be working on the same PowerPoint. So just close it out, make sure it's saved, and then tomorrow we'll pick back up on the next slide of Native American stories, how fire came to be. So awesome. I will see you all soon, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Make sure you ask any questions you might have, and yeah, we'll pick up tomorrow in the same spot. Bye.